Hey guys, Libras, welcome back. Thanks so much for joining me again. Libras, we're going to jump into a Celtic cross today. I just feel like doing something that's kind of, I want to say almost standard, just to see what's going on. What's going on? I have no question right now in my head. I just want to let it kind of flow and see what messages pop out. What's the story for a Libra? Okay, so starting out with Sun card in the reverse. So Leo energy, real strong. First card out, Leo energy. And then it's crossed by that 10 of Cups. I'll show you all the cards in just a minute, but I wanted to get all of them out. Wow. Wow, somebody wants, they want to put something back together, manifest something new. Okay. Let's hold on. Hold on. Some of you are going to be like, no, I want to talk only about new stuff. It could still be new. But we begin with somebody being very aware that there is a lack of direction. I want to say a lack of clarity. Somebody is maybe wondering how you feel about them. Maybe you're wondering how somebody actually felt about you. With this 10 of Cups that crosses it, and this butterfly, we see that there's a need for transformation. We also see that there's a need for somebody to fly toward their happiness. This is at the center of everything. Underneath this, we've got the Queen of Pentacles in the upright. Somebody wants to have growth. They want, it's like they want to have the kind of energetic exchange where there's a safety, a security, and support and continued growth and abundance in a really healthy way. This is a wonderful motive, right? Because this is a really important card in my mind. This is the underlying motive for what actions we're taking. So somebody says, I don't know exactly how to have this amazing happiness. I know that it's there for me, and I know it's so close I can almost taste it. Libras, this is it's either you feeling this or someone else feeling this way, or you both feeling this way. The bottom line is, maybe some of you want to get together with possibly an earth sign also, but there is this profound desire to have something really healthy. It's not just about, I want to be happy and have emotional fulfillment. I want to go home. I want to feel like I have a loving home. You see the heart that's on the front of this. It's actually like a birdhouse, but it's huge. It's almost as big as the house. I want to go where it's this loving, supportive, incredible environment where it's good to start with, but then we make it even better. This is long-term success that one door opens another, the relationship deepens and we get healthier and stronger together. The things that we grow, we're partners in it. We make it better. Someone may be seeing you in this light. They may be seeing, how can I have that? They see you as the person they could have all this with. The question mark is, the confusion is, how do I get there? It's like they can see it on a map. They know exactly where you're located. But before they can get there, they got to transform enough to give themselves some wings before they can get to you, or vice versa, right? But the intention of what somebody wants and what they believe they can have, they're very clear on that. The only question is, how do I get there? I actually want to ask that right now. What is the thing that needs to change? Why do I see the butterfly there? And why the confusion about somebody knows what they want, but they don't know how to get there? Why is that? Why is that? We've got 6 of Cups in the reverse, and we've got the Strength card in the upright. Wow. I do feel like it's a soulmate situation where something has gone awry. And you notice how in this Strength card, it reminds me very much of a Death card. Somebody's hatching out of an egg and they have a serpent wrapped around them. Snakes always represent, that transformation, shedding an old skin. This is a rebirth cycle. I think it's interesting that this card, to me, even though it's Leo energy, it's strength card, it's much more like the scorpionic death card to me. It is showing somebody who has to have the strength to, I believe, to transform themselves enough so that they can match with that soulmate. It's almost like if somebody changes their vibration, they will be able to fit into a whole new soul group. So like, it's all free will, right? We all have the choices to be who we want to be. And sometimes in our life, we might be vibing in like, like the circumstances that we're in. And let me put this in like a positive light. Say you are an athlete and you are moving into like the upper echelon, like you're going to be a professional athlete. That means you probably live your life in a different way, right? Because to keep your body in that high level of, health, you think a lot about nutrition. You think a lot about, how many hours do you devote to sculpting your body, pushing your body, developing your musculature. You're vibing in a totally different level than and the people that you interact with and the foods that you eat and the locations that you go to, all those things could craft a lifestyle that is not the same as somebody who, for example, is, say, a physicist, and they are surrounding themselves less with the physical, exercise and nutrition aspect. Maybe they're looking at things from, a more like logical, mental environment. Maybe they engage with groups of people that are, completely different, every bit as, intelligent and hungry for information as that professional athlete is, but just simply different soul group around them because of where their interests lie. Now, this to me looks like someone didn't vibe with their soulmate because they needed to first transform something before they could get into this vibe with somebody. Now, I've given only like uplifting ideas of what maybe needed to transform, when in fact, to me, this looks like someone who was vibing at a lower level. Maybe they were choosing things that were not super conducive to having, this is an innocent, enjoyable, delightful, cooperative, these little children like adore being together, and there's dreams and like think of how little kids can come up with all kinds of ideas of games and things like that, and they kind of walk in their own little delightful world. There is an innocence there, and somebody was not really able to shed maybe some pieces of themselves so they could step into that more playful, more delightful energy. Maybe somebody really had a lot of burdens. Maybe they had to clean themselves of some of those heavier thoughts. I feel like this person sees where they want to be, and it's in a place of growth, and it's in a place of love. And if they have to transform themselves to be able to come home and be in a place of love with you, to me, that would say then they haven't been in that place. They have been someplace, and you can see this card has a lot of darkness. This is a scenario where maybe somebody they've really struggled with heavier, darker thoughts. Maybe seeing the world through more cynical eyes, maybe seeing love as like power that is wielded and manipulated instead of something that can simply be really delightful. So if they need to shift that in order to like come home and grow, it's almost like somebody is slowly recognizing that this is possible. It's not possible with everyone. It's possible with the right individual, with the right soul partner, with the right soul mate, with the right soul group, but they have to shift their energy so they're not operating out of a manipulative energy, so then they can fit better with that soul group. Recent past, Ace of Pentacles is here. With the cricket on top of this and all the money, somebody let the relationship go because they went off and they focused on money and they went into silent mode. This was a personal thing that somebody wanted to achieve. I feel like they wanted to achieve, and maybe this was important. Maybe somebody had to first go in a different direction in order to, they had to reach some level of, okay, I have all this money now. I have changed one piece of my life, which now has opened the gateway for me to change other avenues of my life. I don't see this as like a greedy card, but I do see this as somebody who had to start focusing on changing their life. We see that, I'm going to say, the death process that I see in this card as well. In the recent past, somebody put that into action, but they did it in silence. I feel like this is the scenario where somebody went dead silent, but it was not an unproductive silence. Crowning someone's thoughts, we've got that Gemini energy here with the Lover's card in the reverse. This is not a card of I have to choose which lover do I want. This is a card where somebody has to choose to open up their heart. They're staring right at that key. This is somebody who could not open up their hearts in the past. They are realizing now, I didn't open up. I didn't think. I don't know. It's almost like somebody was not, maybe they didn't feel safe enough to open up. Maybe they weren't ready to step into this other vibe yet. In the upcoming future, we've got the King of Swords. I feel like somebody knows that you lead the way somehow toward more happiness. If all of this is all about you, maybe this is just you coming into this awareness of a scenario that you dealt with somebody who wasn't able to open up, and I want to be in a happy connection where, the kind of love that we share is really, it's something where there's tons of abundance and tons of growth, and, I'm not afraid to get hurt. They're not afraid to get hurt. So we open up to each other. Whatever this is in the upcoming future, this is the Libra energy taking charge, speaking, and even seeing the world through eyes. You notice how if you look, his eye orbits combine and they actually form the shape of a heart, right? Seeing the world through more loving eyes. If you had been tarnished or hurt by somebody that, it's like, man, I want to have a great love in my life, but why am I not finding it? Why do I keep finding people that are closed off to it? This is where you might be saying to yourself, oh, I was choosing people from the wrong soul group. Maybe you were trying to help people. Maybe you fell for people that were vibrating in a different level and you wanted so much to bring them into your vibrational world, but people have to choose to do that themselves, right? So this could be you also just simply transforming beyond that and then really feeling powerful, like you've taken charge of the situation. You have identified something. You see the world in very much I want to say like a much lighter and brighter way. You see love. You look at the world with love, with compassion. But as a king here, especially the King of Swords, you also can be discerning. You can use your logic. You can see, hey, I really care about that person, but unless they choose to change some things, we're not really going to jive, but that's okay. You may take on that perspective. So you can, instead of being hurt that someone isn't joining you in that higher vibe that you may be sitting in, it's just like, hey, I can see it with compassion and logic, and it's okay. But I feel like you're leading the way. I feel like somebody is seeing you in this manner, and I feel like somebody wants to step up and vibe with you because, okay, so in the hopes and fears, here we go again. We got the Six of Cups. Somebody is, I feel like, wanting to come back in. It could be a sloppy approach. You see how she's sloshing those cups around. Somebody is both afraid to come in, but wants to come in. You might also be afraid of somebody showing up in your life, and what if they don't come in right? The thing is, this is in the upright. Even if it's a little bit messy, this is somebody who has changed their vibration. Whether it's a brand new person that you are welcoming into your world, or whether it is someone else who has figured all of these things out and they are entering your world again, it is because of a vibrational shift. Even though that's scary, can I trust that? Has the vibe really changed? Can this work? How others see you is somebody who is not, you're just not full of yourself at all. With that Six of Wands in the reverse, come across as a very humble person. I don't think you're trying to lead others, but I feel like you are perhaps a natural leader. I feel like there is something about the way you vibe, the way you may be very true to you know, like saying, oh, I've been through the ringer a time or two and I've learned a lot from that. But now I kind of know just kind of what I want to draw into my world. And just the act of you admitting that you didn't always have it all figured out, but you're pretty sure about who you are, and you are discerning at this point in your life. That is a really strong position to be in. That is a leadership quality. But what's funny is you still come across as super humble, somebody who's not vying to be seen and heard. And it's not like you're trying to tell people, I've got it all figured out, listen to me, do what I say. I feel like you're very humble, and people see you that way. The desire in this reading is to have some kind of healing. It could be reconciliation. It could be with an entire family group. It could be the soul group. Again, what I would like is to bring the people around me, or at least have harmony with a group of people. In this card, though, I have to jump back over and say, if this is all about someone else who's been dealing with the Libra, and it's weird because I feel like I'm telling two stories at the same time, yet I'm going to keep doing it, even though it makes no sense to me why I'm doing this. This could also be that somebody wants to explain to their own, like the heavier energy that surrounded them within their family group, why they are choosing you. They don't want to be at odds with their own family group, even though that family group, by virtue of all the dark clothing they're in and this poor little vulture back here that doesn't even have any real wings on it, it's almost like this might have been where that barrenness came from. The reason this person realized, I have to change something about myself. If I want to fly away and go toward Libra and go where love actually is and have growth, I have to first transform myself out of this like cynical attitude. But maybe that cynical attitude comes from the environment that they were in with a whole family, and they want to make peace with that too. They don't want to like rip themselves even away from that other soul group, because that's as much a part of their upbringing or their group as you are, right? We don't necessarily just say, okay, I'm vibrating differently, so therefore I'll never speak to those people again. It's not as if we have to make it so that certain groups of people are villains and other groups of people are better than others. Might they have a different perspective on like why there is some heavy energy within a family dynamic or something that they were raised in? Sure, they might be able to see it, but they also seem like they don't want it to be this great, huge departure and this huge, I can never speak to you again, you're no good, blah, blah, blah. I'm only going to be with my Libra, and that's where it's healthy. And no, this is like accepting it and still trying to maintain some form of energy or acceptance, at least, even with whatever their former soul group was, even if there was strife and struggle there. I kind of like this because it's all very much about like, instead of like putting things in categories and boxes where it's like, this is bad, this is good. It's more about like, let me transform and transcend. Let me induct new people into my life that are more like showing the quality of lifestyle that I would like to live in. But I don't want to become bitter and cut other people off in the past that have been a part of my life either. I would actually like to be peaceful about how this happens. I don't know. I think that that's a more like healed way to handle things. And the outcome here is to move into calmer waters and to have this magician here. This is all about manifesting the new life. So there is still an element perhaps of having to move away from a former soul group and reconcile with the fact that we may not spend so much time together because I'm going in this new direction with the Libra, or I'm going in a new direction with if it's the Libra saying this to their own soul group, I'm moving in a new direction to be engaging with people that are, again, kind of like looking for the same sense of peace and new manifestations of happiness. I want to leave conflict behind, but I don't want to run from it. And I don't want to have to do it where it's like, I put this piece of my life in a box and I never look back to it, even though I'm still moving on. I'm moving on with, I don't know, the word courtesy comes to mind. We're elevating things. We're manifesting the next chapter of life, but it doesn't mean we forget the chapters that we've already written with other groups of people, because that was valuable too. I don't know if this is for both you and another person, and you're both simultaneously doing this in certain energies. Like you've recognized perhaps a person that you dealt with showed you that they were blocked off, and you thought to yourself, I want to not deal with a partnership where they are so blocked off that they can't open up their heart to me. I want to go ahead and keep manifesting new for myself, and I don't want to carry any tarnished thoughts about them. Instead, I simply want to move forward and know that I can have great love, and that there are other soulmates that I will meet. And just as you are deciding that, this other individual, the very one that you dealt with, might be thinking, I want to go where Libra is. I want growth that I know Libra is focusing on. But I know to fit into that world that Libra is living and breathing and increasingly creating for themselves, I would have to step into that world. If I want to step into that world, it does mean I have to make peace with where I've been. And it does mean that I do have to be willing to shift some of my cynicism into something more positive. That's all I can see here, is that we're letting go of cynicism and we're moving into the profound awareness. It's not even a belief, it's the awareness that, wait a second, we absolutely have better things to look forward to. Anytime we don't like something in our lives, we can always make some form of change and shift out of that. That's the belief or the awareness that everyone in this reading seems to be having. It's interesting because with the Celtic Cross, this is usually only about you, but I felt compelled to read it as if it's what's going on with another person that you may have energetically interacted with, because I feel like it's storyline here. So that's what I have in this story today. Whether or not that'll make any sense, I haven't got a clue, but kind of it's a beautiful reading. And to see the change in the soul group, the vibrational change that then allows somebody to fit with a different soulmate, or to be able to fit with the soulmate that they want to be with, but it required an energetic shift. I feel like that's a really profound message. So I'm a fan of change. If something's not working, I'm a big fan of changing things. All right, take good care of yourselves, you guys. Be well.